Hello, it's Jimmy here at O'Reilly's. Just got here a MK8 Ford Transit to look at. Okay, so a bit of a story, and the issue with this van is we've got this symbol up here. Now that keeps going up to 80%, and he says it will stay there for a while. If you take it for a drive, it'll start to come back down, but within the same day again, it will go back up to 85% or 100%. And then come back down again, and he said it's doing that every day. So basically, even when he's doing 20 miles journey a day, the DPF will get blocked, and then it will come back down again and then get blocked again. So every day he's getting the same issue. Sometimes the engine management light comes on. It's just come straight from a Ford dealership, and it's had a few separate visits there. Okay, so far it's had an AdBlue tank, what is what the customer's telling me, AdBlue injector, AdBlue heater, NOx sensors, and the next steps forward we're going to take is to change the DPF pressure sensor. And after that, they said if that doesn't fix the problem, they're going to change the DPF, and then after that we're going to change the fuel injector. So they got 3 steps on the next steps they're going to take. They've already done a few separate repairs already, and we just need to know really figure out which one of these problems that it needs. Okay, so I'm looking on live data here at the pressure in the DPF. So we've got 60-70 millibars of pressure in the DPF. That's with the engine idling, and if we accelerate that up, let's have a look. Let's put that there. Accelerate it up to sort of 3000 RPM. Goes up to around 800 millibars at 3000 RPM, one a little bit over there. Now you can see when I do that, the pressure has come down on the DPF there, 20 millibars. Now if we let that idle for a minute, it'll go back up to sort of 80 millibars again. Okay, so if we switch the engine off, turn the ignition on, don't know if you can notice something there. There's a few lights missing. ABS light, and yeah, the ABS light's definitely missing. If we go in close over there, you can faintly see the ABS sign. So it looks like somebody's taped that over. Now with the engine running, if you look in there closely, you can still see the ABS light is illuminated. Let's put down the handbrake. Yeah, that goes off. Okay, so we're going to exit the live data. Now the funny thing is, on here, at the minute, it doesn't have any fault codes. It's just come straight out of a Ford dealership. They've reset everything. But there was engine management lights on for block DPF. Now let's go back. What we got here, we've got an ABS rear right wheel speed sensor and a front right position lamp. Now customers just said that it's had a new wheel speed sensor at Ford, and they don't know why the fault is still there. Okay, so I've now got the bonnet open, and I'm pretty sure what I suspect is going to be the problem is this hose here runs down to that metal tube that runs into the DPF right down there, and that bit on the bend I think is blocked. And let me try and explain it a little bit better. Right, first we'll before I can get in and show you properly, I'm going to remove the airbox. So we've got a plug here on the airflow meter and a 7mm on here. Get that open. Now on the airbox here we have a 8mm bolt holding on the sensor. I'm going to get that off. Then that little airline there, we'll get that off as well. And we should be able to just now remove the airbox. Now I'm going to remove the hose here from the sensor. Okay, I've got that disconnected, engine running, got a digital manometer or gauge basically connected up there to the DPF. Just going to confirm that the pressure looks the same on that. It is a bit lower. Okay, I've got the sensor off, and if we check the voltage, we have 5 volts, and on the first pin we have 4.99. Now if we switch that to continuity, then we're going to check the middle pin. I have continuity, so the plug's working. Got a Medivac here connected up. You can see that's connected to the tube that goes down to this DPF pressure sensor here, and it goes to this tube, so I think we've got a little bit of a blockage in the tube. Okay, so we've got the pressurized gun here set up onto here. We're going to blow some cleaning fluid that goes in and dissolves soot. We've got that hooked up at 130 psi. Push that through. Okay, so now after the cleaning has been put in, we can see we got no pressure. Okay, I'm back in the vehicle. We're going to start it up. Again, we've got very high reading on the DPF pressure. We're going to hold the revs up. Very hard to get it to stay where you want it to. It's come down a little bit. Okay, as we rev it up now, we're going to see a lot of steam come from the exhaust. Okay, well the pressure seems to have increased after a clean, which is very strange. I'm going to confirm what the pressure is with a digital manometer. So we got 100 on there. Take this off, put the manometer on there. We've got 12 millibars. So the sensor is reading way off. So I've got lots of these sensors here in the van, because I do work on a fair few of these vans. So I'm just going to try one of these. Now remember, I've already checked the plug, so just going to try a sensor and see what that says on the live data. Okay, so I've got a sensor here plugged in. We'll leave the original one on there. I'm going to go start the van up. Okay, so we've got 20 millibars now, and the old sensor had 100, 110. As you can see, we've got sort of 10 millibars, which is correct now. 10 to 20. See, this goes up in 10 increments. If that comes down to 10, then we're just about right where it should be. So we're just back in the van here. I'm going to read what fault codes are there. Of course, we had a few items unplugged: the airflow sensor and the pressure sensor. Intake air temperature sensor is part of the airflow meter, so we can just clear all of those codes. It's funny how it gives up an AdBlue fault for the airflow meter. Very low mileage on this van. Now, I will say this guy's had some bad luck with this van, because he had the van 2 days and these lights came on, and he's so far spent 2.5 grand at Ford. So yeah, not a very good start to his ownership of this van. It's only done 60,000 miles, and he's owned it. Well, he's owned it a few days before having to spend 2.5 grand on it, and now it's been back to Ford a few different times, and they've just given him a list of parts that they want to change as a, what's the word, elimination process. Okay, engine's back up running. Exhaust filter there again, message. Okay, so if you remember at the start of the video, we had sort of 20-30 millibars of pressure, and then when we accelerated it, let it idle for a minute, it would go up to 80, 90, 100 millibars, and then if you accelerated it, it would come back down again. So I'm going to see now, spend some time accelerating the van, letting it idle, see if the van behaves the same as it was doing before I started working on it. So you can see there now we're at 10 to 0 millibars, so the DPF clean has worked. Okay, so I'm going to hold the revs there for a few minutes because just noticed, I'm not sure if that was higher than that before, but the coolant temperature there is a little bit below the where it should be, so we're just going to see if that actually warms up. Okay, yeah, so that's moved up, and we check live data, it's at 88 degrees. Okay, so that's the pressure now on the DPF with that sensor, jumping from 0 to 10 here and there. If we pull that sensor out, check it with a manometer, I've got 9.7, which is correct, 9 to 10 millibars, so that's jumping from 0 to 10, because it won't read anything less than 10. Now, if we disconnect this sensor and put it back onto this one, we're reading 120, 140 millibars. Sometimes it reads 80, sometimes it's reading 120. So take this sensor off, put the original back on, 80 millibars, 80 HPA. Okay, so we've got the DPF reading where it should be, just below 10, and if we hold the revs up a little bit you can see 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Come down, special functions. What am I going to need to do? I'm just going to tell the van that the DPF's been replaced after the clean, and hopefully this van is just, I think it's got some electrical issues, so I'm not 100% confident on this. Oh, now we've got an oil change required sign as well up, hill start. I've just been told that the van is a category S or category D, so it's been in an accident as well. So obviously we've got lights that are taped out, we've got hill control lights coming up, and yeah, it's got a bit of history behind it, and maybe there's some electrical gremlins going on. So we're waiting to do a DPF reset. Now the other thing I can mention is this has already had a software update from Ford after he's got it back from them from the previous repairs that's been done. Okay, that's complete. Okay, DPF reset's been complete. Fault codes are cleared. I haven't tried to clear the fault code for that yet, but yep, that's all done on that end of the job anyway. So we found obviously one of the sensors that was fitted to the vehicle. It was reading between 80 to 140 millibars of pressure. We've unblocked the pipe, we've cleaned the DPF, and we fitted a different DPF pressure sensor which is now reading 0 millibars where it should be. So we just confirmed there's no fault codes. We've already confirmed the DPF pressure. Let's go back and see. We're going to do a full scan again just to see what's going on with his sensor, because I know he's been having issues with the ABS sensor, even though I'm not here to look at that. We're just trying to sort out the DPF really, but he said the ABS sensor has already been replaced and the light is still on, but it wasn't a genuine ABS sensor. So one thing I'm going to do really quick is just see if the code clears, and if the code returns with just switching the ignition on, it would point to either a sensor or a wiring issue. If you've got to drive it before the ABS fault comes back on, then that would really point to the ABS ring or the wheel bearing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now and clear that code there. No, it doesn't clear, so definitely either the sensor or wiring, but we're not here to look at that. That was just a quick check on that. Go back to the menu there, the exhaust filter says it's 0% full now. Come back and put it back to the trip computer. Right, so all finished on the Transit. See you next video.